Hello world, boys and girls, shine your light bright like diamonds and pearls. You could be anything in this world. Weight on your shoulder, let that pressure like a curl. Hello world, they got know my name.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Blast from the Past movie podcast.
Yay.
I'm one of your hosts, CJ.
Joe Kill, keeping it real.
Keith, the youngin' of the squad.
Yo, and this is the podcast. We talk about movies from the past, if they should or should not be remade. And sometimes we just rip movies a new one because they deserve it.
Or we just don't like them.
Or we just don't like them.
We're going with that?
Yeah, because
Mike does the air horn.
Mike does the air horn. Mike, I don't know what's going on with Mike, but he does the air horn.
We know what's going on with Mike.
We know what's going on with Mike, and even Mike don't know what's going on with Mike.
I definitely don't.
That part. So,
Oh, Jesus.
Wow. Hold on. I know I got the boom in the shot. This is really
really unprofessional.
Okay, very unprofessional, but it's okay. Now we're good.
He's
we're
fired.
good.
Don't worry about it.
It's all right.
Yeah, our boom Mike guy, we're firing him anyway.
For today's podcast, we're gonna talk about the 1992 women's film, A League of Their Own.
I thought this was a great movie.
It was okay.
I like it.
Yeah, it was cool. It was all right. Okay.
It's actually the only film that we're doing that's actually kind of a
True story.
biopic.
Is it based on?
Yeah, it's based on a true story.
Based on a true story.
It's based on a true event.
True
A
event.
true
It's
event.
fictionalized.
It's fiction. It's very fictionalized, but it's based on the premise of the Women's League. That's the only thing that's
It's
there.
it's the glow of
So
baseball.
for those who don't know,
Something like that, yeah.
For those who don't know, A League of Its Own was a movie that was based on, like you said, the women's baseball organization. It was back in World War II when obviously all the men were gone, and so a lot of women at the time took on men jobs. And one of the things they did was start their own women's league. Not a softball league, an actual baseball
league.
over the hand league. So this director was Penny Marshall, starred Tom Hanks. So if you don't know who the freak Tom Hanks is, you are dead.
Calm yourself.
Okay. You're dead to me.
Oh my god.
If you don't know who Tom Hanks is, you're dead to me.
Really?
That part. Sorry. That's how I feel.
I mean, you gotta.
One of the greatest actors of our time. What the hell? If you don't know who that is, it's like saying you don't know who Denzel Washington is. It's like saying you don't know who Robin Williams is. That's like saying you don't know who Johnny Depp is. Like, it's just ridiculous.
You mean are you talking 21 Jump Street Johnny Depp or Johnny Depp?
I'm talking about the Johnny Depp. Just the fact that you even know that. It's just like, you know. Now, Johnny Depp is a weirdo. Let me get me wrong. Let's go. But he's a good weirdo. He's just, when you act and you so good at what you do, you can be weird a little bit. Hence Prince. Come on. Like, Prince was phenomenal.
True.
Yeah. And he was weird as hell.
Because a lot of people thought he was gay, but he took down more pussy than
the whole
revolution.
One of his first songs was called Head. That was one of his first songs. 1978.
Yeah, I got
Yeah,
you.
we know he was born acting around there, so he knows.
I knew when his first album came out because I think I bought his first album.
Okay. That's some old shit there, man.
Right, okay.
I'm a 7 a.m. I don't know what. Want some pancakes? I'm sorry. I don't know what we got off topic. We got off topic, but
back on it.
Back on it, guys. So
A League of Their Own.
A League of Their Own.
Yes.
Yeah. So like I said, we had Tom Hanks. He plays Jimmy, and he is the girls' coach. We got Gina Davis. Gina Davis, who plays the Dottie. And then we also have Madonna, who plays in this movie.
All the way, May.
Yeah, all the way.
Wonder how she got that name.
That's fucked up. And we have Rosie O'Donnell. She's actually in this film.
Which was her breakout performance role.
Was her breakout?
It was her first movie.
Oh, wow. There you go.
That was before Sleepless in Seattle.
And she killed this movie, by the way. I'm sorry. She did a great job in this movie. I was really impressed.
Rosie O'Donnell.
Oh,
okay.
She did a great job in this movie. And so IMDb scored this a 7.2 out of 10.
You left out Lori Petty.
Oh, I'm sorry. Lori Petty, and she plays P. Kit
Keller. Who is
Keller.
Dottie's sister.
Dottie's sister.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So IMDb scored it 7.2 out of 10. and Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 78%. So here, one of the questions I want to ask is, first of all, I want to know what was one of your favorite parts of this movie?
Ooh, I have to name it to one, huh?
Yeah, name it one. I got mine.
I think the catch.
Personal scene.
I think the catch during training camp.
The fast when Rosie O'Donnell throws the ball.
And Gina Davis catches it barehanded. But that whole little scene, like I heard there's only gonna be so many teams, and then like some of them have to go home, and she's like, yeah, some of you'll have to go home, and she's like, do it, and she throws it like, how'd you do that? Wait a minute, you come back here. To me that was one of my favorite scenes. That's the scene that actually, if I had to pick one, that's the pick.
All right, what about you?
Well, this is my favorite scene right after the classic "There's No Crying" baseball scene when the umpire goes to the gym and was saying, "Well, you should talk to them like the way you talk to your mother." And he walks away and he said, "You look like a penis with a hat on. You're out here. You're out here." They started arguing.
What are you talking about? Like who was not gonna get thrown out?
That scene was hilarious because it was like,
especially in that day and time. Too.
He really said that. It was too funny. It's coming from Tom Hanks. It's weird to see him like that.
True.
That's true. Because
every Tom Hanks movie you see him in is like he's the pure, fun-loving guy. So you see him call somebody a penis.
Right.
That was funny. Yeah, that was funny. Tell you the truth, my favorite scene is the dance at the
Second Sons.
Second Sons. Yeah, I like the dance scene. Why? I don't know why. Because it was got a high pitch sound. I don't know, my ear got high pitched for some reason. Anyway, so it was a very fun dance scene. Maybe because I love swing dance, I'm like, I want to learn that one day. Like,
wait, we're not gonna skip past that, huh? You like swing dancing?
Yeah.
Really?
I like seeing people swing dance.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But I never thought that.
No. The reason I wasn't laughing at that, I was laughing at the fact that you're like, we're gonna let that pass. No, we're not letting that pass. You like swing dance?
Yeah, that was. I mean,
that was.
I enjoyed.
There's nothing wrong with that. I enjoyed the dance.
I love good dancing, and that to me that was fun. That's back when you had to be in shape. Yes. You had to be in shape to do shit like that.
Yes.
And on top of that, everybody was involved. At some parts it could be sensual. And the funny thing is, that's like the white people version of freak dancing. Because remember, you got girls going underneath the legs and shit. Come on, think about that. Like, they're going underneath the leg.
No.
You were flipping them so you saw underneath the skirt all the damn time.
Well, that's why they had all the ruffles under there.
Yeah, the ruffles too. And
so
then like
you didn't see everything that was under there.
And then the way they were dancing with each other. You know, this is the only time when you see white people have rhythm. I mean, it's just. But
wow.
I'm sorry. Did I say that? My bad. My bad. I'm sorry. I said that out loud. White people, I promise. I'm sorry, but I love y'all. I love y'all.
We love Step Up.
I mean, we love. We did. And 2, it was okay. Step Up 2 was cool.
Now 3, you're tripping.
3, you was tripping.
The last one was pretty good. The last one, the one where they had to do the Vegas thing.
Oh yeah,
that one was good.
That was good. And they brought back Moose.
Yes.
And because I like Moose. Moose is dope.
Moose was dope.
I thought Moose was Michael Jackson. I thought Moose was Michael Jackson was on that. But in League of Their Own, I did like the dance scene. I thought that was funny. I love how Rosie O'Donnell was interacting and she actually switched roles and she became the man and she was swinging the dude.
Yeah.
And that was pretty funny to me. And she was like, oh my God, that's so fun. Like back when people used to have fun at dancing.
Well, you do realize that with most swing dancing, your partner had to be smaller than you, as the guy.
Well, that's true, but that's back in the. See, look, now I know this is a little bit before your time too.
Yeah.
The dude, not dance with nobody. They just dance by themselves.
I'm not gonna lie. If I go to a club and see people swing dancing, I'm probably gonna join in. That looks like fun. That looks like fun. It's
a workout too, right? It's a workout. You gonna sweat your ass off.
Well,
I'm just saying.
I got one thing to say before I make a comment. Fuck you. Who's next? Sorry.
My bad, man. But those are two of my favorites. That's one of my favorite scenes.
Honest and truly, but today's dancing, I kind of feel like they did in Uncle Drew. She keep dancing on that dude, he gonna get pregnant. I mean, it's gonna be some kids born on the dance floor somewhere. To me, it's a sense of foreplay on some notions.
But you know what? Even if you do your history,
and yes, I'm old people, but damn.
Even if you do your history on dances back then, even adults at that time thought that was provocative.
Yes,
that's light to us. They were like, oh my God, you doing all that swinging dance? That's because even rock and roll was.
Oh, it was the devil.
Exactly, because rock
was devil music
with having sex.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was a different time.
That's true. Now, you kind of mentioned the whole "there's no crying in baseball" scene, which I feel is one of the most popular scenes in the League of Their Own.
It's one of the most known scenes. Iconic scenes.
Iconic scenes. Yeah, that's true. So, do you feel that right, though? Do you think there should be no crying in any sport?
No, we shouldn't. Only because it's like, come on, you gotta learn how to lose. You're gonna learn like the same way you can win. You're gonna lose sometime too. You gotta be tough in any sport.
That scene was not that she was crying because she was losing.
She got yelled at.
Yeah,
by-
she got
yelled at.
Yeah,
Because
she's the one who pretty much cost them.
right.
like,
Because
our
I mean,
game.
bless my soul, I played baseball when I was young, and I got hit in the crotch with a baseball. I had a cup on, but it still hurt like hell.
But that's based on physical pain, not emotional pain.
Okay, but you didn't say that. You said there's no crying in baseball.
Okay,
Well, come on, you know what we're talking about. The context of the movie.
I understand that. But
Kills
I'm
me,
just saying-
kills.
That's my job.
All right.
That's why they call me Joe Kills. No, anyway. But no, I'm just saying it's like I understand that she was crying because it was emotional. It was an emotional thing because he was yelling at her. The reason why she was crying because come on now, every other baseball movie you see when the coach is yelling at the player, he's not crying.
Yeah.
That's why they say there's no crying. That's why he was saying there's no crying in baseball, because if you're gonna do a man's sport, you got to take the man's.
Ooh, okay.
We talking about a time period here.
Yeah, okay.
Okay,
I'm making sure.
they were replacing men's baseball. So if you're gonna take, just like they replaced men in the factory, because at the time women didn't do those kind of jobs. So if you're gonna take on that role, that's all he was saying. If you're taking on this role, there's no crying here.
Right.
Because he even explained. He said my coach called me. He said something about what his coach called me.
Yeah, I remember the scene.
And he's like, did I cry? She's like, no. He's like, did I cry? No. Then what? There's no crying in baseball. And so I understand that, but you also have to take into consideration, like the umpire said, these are women.
Talk to them like how you want to talk to your mother. That's it. But you
Which
knew
is
the
not
job
true.
was dangerous when you took it.
Yeah,
This
that's
is true.
That is true.
So the rules apply to you too. We're not gender biased out here.
But they were. They had them playing in skirts instead of pants.
You know what? You know what's so funny is,
Who's the 19?
you know what's so funny? Hold on, guys. Hold on 1 second. So I coach girls basketball.
Okay, do you make them play in skirts?
Varsity. Why? That's kind of perverted. Why would you even say that?
They can have. They can have.
Stop.
They can have tights on under their skirt.
What are you doing that for? Why? He just keep digging the hole. He's digging the hole right now. You stop kills.
That was
So
funny.
I'm gonna have to edit that shit out. because
No,
you said
no,
that.
please don't.
Oh my god. Anyway, so I coach girls basketball, and coming from coaching boys to girls is a totally different swing of things.
It is.
And they are very emotional. And my boy keeps saying, because he's been coaching girls for a little bit longer than I have, he said, "Hey man, you can't say that to the girls because they'll shut down." I'm like, "What are you talking about? No, they're playing basketball. They're ball players. Be ball players." And because every girl basketball player, I was doing comparison to 11 basketball. So hey, 11 basketball bitches. Like that's it. That's what I was saying.
You can't call them bitches.
No, I don't call them bitches. I'm just saying at the same time, you know what I'm saying? I had to figure out a way to like get my point across and let it know. So now I just get this thing where I kind of not embarrass them, but kind of like make fun of the situation. Like, really, that's what you're gonna do? So you just think you can know how to do? You know what I'm saying? Like I just do something to embarrass them. But I've had boys that have cried, too, those situations. When I was coaching a team and this kid freaking scored the basket on the wrong fucking basket. Like he scored.
How many times that?
It happened. I'm like, what? What the hell you think you doing? Are you stuck on stupid? He's like, I'm sorry, coach. I'm sorry. I'm like, get your ass up the court. And I made her run laps around the whole entire stadium.
Okay.
In the middle of the game.
CJ has an old soul. Are you stuck on stupid?
No, you stuck.
Oh my god! I
mean,
that in.
You stuck on stupid? What's your major malfunction?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like when my
Stuck on stupid?
when my daughter was in high school, I coached her basketball team, and I did take a different stance than I took when I was help coaching a boys team.
Mm-hmm.
There's a different stance you have to take.
Right.
So like that scene for me, it was appropriate.
Okay, I see you.
Did I like it? No.
What's something about this movie that absolutely stand out? Like, what's something in the movie that you felt like was a standout, a scene or some type of moment in the movie that really stood out to you guys?
Other than my favorite scene?
Other than your favorite scene. Or maybe you say your favorite scene. It's fine. You want to say your favorite scene is the one that stood out.
Well, I mean, it stood out, but there were others that stood out.
Okay.
Marla Hooch.
Okay.
She's not the prettiest girl, but she can knock the shit out of a ball.
Okay.
That
You
should,
know-
that should be on a trading card. Not the prettiest girl, but she can knock the shit out of the ball.
You know,
You know?
you know. I mean, he wouldn't have. What's his name? The recruiter. He wouldn't have taken her.
Mm-hmm.
She can hit like
John Love's character. I
yeah,
forgot his name.
John Lovett's character.
Yeah.
She hit like most major league players, but she didn't. She wasn't pretty.
Wait, hold on. Why you mentioned that about the what's his name? You said the
John Lovitz.
Yeah, John Lovett's character, and he's the one that plays the recruiter.
Recruiter.
And the funny thing is, when he brings the girls to the team,
Oh, you talking about pickle and pickle?
Oh my! I was hoping someone was gonna bring that up.
it was like
Go home
what
with
about hell and
Give her a little,
pickle tickle, pickle tickle.
I was like, wait.
Please, can we bring back that? Can we bring back pickle tickle? What about to do, man? I'm gonna go this girl. I'm gonna pickle tickle her to death.
No. Did you catch in the beginning when he went to the farm and it was pulling on the cow? That looked like it hurt. Well, it doesn't seem like it. Well, it was me. I'm sure it would hurt me.
And he always had those little weird little.
I love John Lovitz.
Yeah, he
I
is.
do. I
He
do.
was slimmer in this movie.
Wait.
Yeah,
was,
he
was
lost weight
this?
in this movie.
Oh, was this before or after Mom and Dad Save the World? Because he was on that. He played the little weird king guy.
Yeah,
I think this
I think this was
before.
before.
It had to be after. I think it's after. Oh, because this is in '92. I want to say that movie with him was in the '80s. I have to say it is. Mom and Dad Save the World. So we'll look it up real quick because I want to know what that is.
Oh, it was the same year,
Was it?
92.
Oh, 92. So damn, he
But
bought.
when did this one come out? Like what month? This
Oh,
one-
I didn't see what month it came out. I
This
just know
was
it
July
came,
24th.
I know it came out in '92.
I think this came out May.
Well, it doesn't make a difference.
doesn't make-
but,
yeah.
but they came up. But I'm saying like he plays those roles. It's
Yes.
just
It
those
came out the
funny
same
little.
month.
Oh wow.
July 1st.
Oh wow. This quirky little roles they're playing right here. That's crazy, man. So that's a great thing though. It is a great thing. So what do you think, Keith? What is something to you that stood out in this movie?
I mean, besides the scene I gave you, there's that and just little little things that John Lovett said was pretty funny. Though.
Okay.
So I mean, that's pretty much. I can't really think of nothing that just stood out like that. I mean, Madonna was hot in this movie.
Okay.
As May. I mean, I'm not a Madonna fan, but
She looked good in this movie, though.
She was fine in this movie.
She could have got it, huh?
She was hot, yes.
She got it all day. All right. So kills.
Yes, sir.
Remake or not?
I think they could remake this,
Okay.
or even just show the second season without Gina Davis's character. Show what Kit did that second season. She was one of the ones that was shown at the end of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, she was one of those people that made the museum.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I think that not so much remake, but continue it, show it the second
You know
season.
what's funny? They did try that.
They did.
The following year, it was supposed to be a TV show. It only has 5 episodes.
Yeah, no.
It had Penny Marshall came back, Gary Marshall, and John Lovitz. But then Tom Hanks produced it, but it only lasted 5 episodes.
Oh wow. Okay. Didn't know that.
So they did try that, but 5 episodes.
I don't think a TV series. I don't think this is one of those types of movies where you can't go from big screen to TV.
I mean, at the time, but now how the internet is.
No,
Yeah.
I don't think you could at the time you could have done it.
Well, no, at that time, but I think this could be a Netflix series. I will watch it.
I think
It can be done right on Netflix.
Yeah.
Well, Keith, while we're on you, real fast, remake or not?
Remake.
So you would remake this movie?
I want to remake this movie.
Okay, then. So since you both said you would remake this movie, okay. Like I asked you last time, what is something that absolutely has to be in this movie if there's a remake?
If there's a remake, you have to have the one scene where she catches the ball barehanded. You have to have that.
Okay.
You have to have the sack of suds scene.
You think so?
I think so.
Okay.
Because
Pretty much saying what I was about to say.
I'm sorry.
Yeah,
It's all right, but you guys are on the same accord. That's fine.
You know, I think those two scenes are key to this movie because one, it shows the type of character Dottie is,
Okay.
and it also shows them being who they really are. You know, Rosie O'Donnell's character, she's a bouncer, but she likes to have fun. You know,
Oh, she was. That's great.
You know,
she worked with.
she worked at her. She worked. Her
May was a dancer.
May was
Yeah.
a dancer.
Okay, that's right.
And I think that it just showed them having fun.
Okay.
Not so much just baseball. It showed them having fun. And I think those are two things that you need in a movie because if the characters don't look like they're really having fun or you can't see them having fun, then you lose kind of your audience.
It's like what I said earlier. It's like Glow, but with baseball.
Okay,
What I'm
so
saying.
would you make it current, or would you take it back to
Take
that
it
time?
back.
Take it
you,
back.
you have to kind of take
Because
it
you
back.
can't really.
If you're gonna remake it, you have to kind of take it back,
the only way you see women's baseball if it's in college.
and it's still softball. It's not baseball.
Exactly. So you have to take it back.
Okay. Honestly, I wouldn't even make it. I wouldn't even attempt to touch this movie.
Why?
I wouldn't touch the movie because since it's based on a true story and it's based on a time factor, I think back since it came out in the 90s, it was closer to that time frame of World War II, so it hit home a lot more. If you make a movie now based back in the 80s, back on the women's baseball movement, it's just not, I don't think it'll get the right fan base toward it, whatever case may be.
Well,
it's not,
it also
softball is somewhat of a big thing, but I mean,
But it also-
college wise, but like if this was a basketball movie, then okay, I can see that. Not even, well, that's the only other sports you
Are
really
you
can
talking
think
about
about it.
based off historical relevance?
Yeah.
Because of the time.
Yeah, because the time frame was
but
so close to because the 90s were so close to what was going on in
But
World War
even
II.
not really, because even during the 90s, that was like, how many years was that? 50 years? 50, 60 years?
Yeah, almost 50 years.
Since in 92 from 1940s.
45.
Because this is the beginning of the war, right?
So it would be 39. 39, 40.
Really?
Yeah.
That really was, that's crazy during
It's
that.
50 years. It was 50 years.
Because when
50,
they
55
at the
years.
end of the movie, they go back to the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Correct.
And you see them in the baseball. I think it's the 1970s or whatever when they go back.
No, it's
No,
the
it's
80s.
I mean 80s. They go back
It
in the
goes back.
80s. You know what I mean?
Because I think her husband died.
Yeah.
He died. Him and two others. I forgot.
Stillwell's mother passed away,
Those
and
three.
Jimmy Dugan.
Oh,
Tom
he
Hanks'
did die.
character had died.
I
What
just
about the owner?
Harvey, he died well before that, but the guy who brought them, who kept the league going. Remember, they were going to cancel the league, and the skinny guy kept the league going. He was still alive.
Also,
Okay.
another fun fact: the Harvey is the director's brother.
Oh,
Gary
wow.
Marshall is Penny Marshall's brother.
okay.
Yes,
Cool.
yes.
Cool. Well, my like I said, I really don't think you need to make it. I think it's a classic. I really think it's a classic, and that you don't need to touch this movie. Like I wouldn't touch it. I wouldn't remake it. I wouldn't even attempt to remake it.
But going
doing
on,
it-
going on
oh,
what
go
you
ahead, sorry.
said, you don't see the relevance and everything like that. But it does show how softball became prevalent because they needed a sport. They had the sport, and it showed. Because I honestly think without this women's league that they had during that time, there would be no softball.
But I'm gonna go back to what he said. Like, okay, so you said based off historical relevance, but why wouldn't that not make a?
All I'm saying is impact audience wise. Like it wouldn't impact. Like I don't think women now could relate and will go back and watch this movie. Like if you re-release this out right now, even if it was set back in the whatever time frame this came out in, you know what I mean?
I mean,
time frame.
we can say. I mean, this might be a little extreme. That we can say that we can't relate to the civil rights movement or slavery because we weren't even around during that time.
Okay, but what I'm saying is it's not a big enough following for women to see this movie. That's all I'm saying. It's not a big enough following now for people to go watch this movie.
I'm watching women's sports.
A women's sports movie, especially a women's baseball sports movie. I really don't think it's there. I really don't think that.
But how would we know that? We would have to actually go around. I mean, we ain't got time, but we would have to go around do a poll. And I'm pretty sure a lot of women would want to go see this movie, especially during that time, though. Because you know what? Now you think about it, I never seen a movie set during the war where the women were taking over. So this is kind of different. So this would kind of
Well, I mean, there's been other movies like that. I mean, we get a glimpse of that with Pearl Harbor. We get a glimpse of that with historical
but that's
reference
what,
movies.
that's what the nurses. I'm talking about with some back home, not actually out there in at Pearl Harbor.
Yeah, but then you talking about how they had the people the machinery people, the yes we can do it, all that stuff. I mean, they have movies like that. But that's what I'm saying, though. They're just not as popular. And I know we have this like a women's movement going on now, or we were the last few months as it kind of died down. This movie came out in 92. When they went back to the Hall of Fame, it was back in the what?
80s.
The 80s. So see how close it is related to the 90s, 92, closer to the 80s, so it's still hot. It's you know what I mean? It's still something there.
But I kind of get what you're saying.
Yeah,
but
I get it.
you're saying that was it 20 years, 25 years later from when this movie was made? So this movie's 25 years.
Maybe 20.
This was made in what year?
92?
It's closer to the.
27 years?
It's closer to a
92.
movie.
So 27 years. So you're saying 27 years would not that extra 25 years throws that movie completely out
He's
because the
saying it
movie was
wouldn't be
already 10 years old.
relevant
It just won't be
during the time.
relevant.
The time was already 10 years after.
Okay.
So you're saying that extra 27 just completely knocks it out of the way.
Okay, so they went back to the Hall of Fame in what year?
I think
in the movie.
82. 82.
88.
Was it 88?
88.
88, that's when it went back to the Hall of Fame, right?
Okay.
This movie came out in
92.
92. And how many years is that?
4.
Okay? That's 4 years. So look at the relevancy. Now, I go from when this movie came out in 1992, talking about the women's movement, to 2019. How many years is that?
27.
27 years. 27 years later, to talk about
And yet in the last
the 1988
and yet in
or
the
not
last,
that before.
in the last year they've been pushing women movies all together, making movies that are not women movies.
But they're not based on true stories and true events.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter.
It's women empowerment.
Well, this is fictionalized anyway, so who knows how.
It's
much-
fictionalized based on a true story.
But-
though.
Based on true events.
who's-
True
who's-
events,
Who's
okay.
to know to say that this wasn't even
True events.
exaggerated to a certain point too? They see when they do these movies like that. I mean, we all know that they're just doing it just to get your attention because they went like if it was completely accurate, I'm pretty sure it wouldn't be as big because I think it might be even boring a little bit. So of course they got to exaggerate to a certain extent.
Right, but I'm just saying, with all the women empowerment that we've been doing and we're going to be doing for the next couple years, because you have Black Widow movies coming out, you got another Captain Marvel movie that's slated, but they don't know when it's coming out.
Slated?
Which
Really?
I don't
But
understand why, but that's neither here nor there. And it just, to me, you're saying it's not relevant anymore, but with all this women empowerment thing, this is relevant.
Right.
No, all the movies that you named are fictional.
Doesn't matter.
It does matter because if I'm talking about a
Captain
fictional,
Marvel
like,
is based on a true story.
like
okay?
if you had to choose between your daughter looking at Captain Marvel or going to go watch a movie on baseball women, what do you think she's gonna choose?
She's probably gonna watch the baseball. It really depends on how you raise it. If you allow the TV to raise your kids,
I'm gonna tell you this: my daughter will be 25 in July, and if I just gave her the choice because she's gonna ask me, Dad, do you think this movie's gonna be good or not? And I say, well, you have to watch it yourself. She'll probably watch the baseball movie.
It only works when
every
movies like that have not came out.
Because
No
every
remake.
comic book movie my daughter's going to see, she's called me and asked me, Dad, do you think it's worth it?
Okay, I'll tell you this much. Okay, name a woman's empowerment or a woman's potentially woman cast movie that's recently came out that women are like, I'm gonna go see that.
that's
That you
based
can
on
think
a
about.
story.
That's based on true story.
That's based on true events.
Hidden Figures.
Figures.
Okay, based on the
Figures.
figure. Was that a remake?
What do you mean?
Was it a remake?
No.
No, exactly. So that's what I'm saying though. So
But it just came out 3 years ago. How you know they wouldn't remake that movie in the next 10, 15 years? We don't know that.
I understand that, but I'm saying it's reason why it's relevant enough now. Obviously, it has to do with women, has to do with the black community, and on top of that, it's not something out there already like it.
But you
There's
were
nothing out
saying
there like
you
it.
say it wasn't relevant based on the time frame from it being set in the 1940s during the war to 1992.
No.
Or
What
1919,
I'm saying is that it's been too much time gone that it's not relevant to people, kids now. Like a women wouldn't see this now. That's what I'm trying to say. And why see this movie when I can just go back and watch the original movie? That it's not gonna be too much of a change of difference, other than the cast, whoever you're gonna cast for it.
Because one, you're gonna cast it with people who are popular now,
Who's relevant?
actresses who are popular now, as opposed to you going back and going to watch the original when Lori Petty has kind of faded into obscurity. Who else?
Rosie O'Donnell.
Rosie O'Donnell's still kind of popular. Madonna is still kind of popular.
Okay, then tell you what, cast.
You know what? Okay. The movie would be relevant if, of course, they have some new actors,
Right.
more popular actors, and the older audience will see it if you bring back a character from that movie and play a different character. Let's say if Tom Hanks played Harvey, they were like, oh, okay, so he's playing the owner in this one. Then that'll probably get their attention too.
Let me ask you this: Why make a remake then? Why make a remake of this movie?
Why make any remake?
Right? Why not just leave it the way it is? Now everything deserves a remake.
But since this was based on true events,
Okay.
okay, and that's why we don't like doing these kind of movies because it's based on a true event.
Okay.
How many remake true events movies does you know? Comment, guys. I want to hear what you guys got to say out there. Like, somebody out there, I don't know what they're saying on Facebook.
No, got nothing.
No, got nothing. On Instagram, too, but I don't know.
But true events. I mean, there are not a lot of movies based on true events or anything like that. Okay, let me ask you this. You saying why make this movie because it's based on true events? The movie Pearl Harbor was based on true events, right?
It has not been. There was not a Pearl Harbor.
The reason why is it was a 3-hour freaking movie.
Oh my god! I remember going to go see.
But
that
at the end of the day,
if you're making an epic,
that wasn't genre Pacific either. That wasn't not genre Pacific, but that wasn't
it was
gender Pacific.
It was historically.
Yeah, but it wasn't gender Pacific.
No, it wasn't. But
and the following for a Pearl Harbor. What war is that? World War II.
World War II.
A World War II movie that's not gender related is very popular in that in the army community. But
let me ask you this: do you think more people went to go see Pearl Harbor because of the premise of the movie, or because of the actors in the movie?
Premise.
Really?
Yeah.
So you went? Did you see it?
Yeah.
You went to go see it for the premise?
Yeah, I want to go see it because Pearl Harbor is based on a historical fact of a event that happened. I didn't give two shit less about the actors that was in it. I mean, as long as they played it well. I mean, you could have played any good real actor to play that one of those roles. And I was like, all right, cool.
Go see Josh Hartnett.
No, I didn't want to go see none of that. I just wanted to see it for a good historical movie.
The only reason I asked that question is because when the movie came out and I went and seen the movie, I went with the date for starters, and every girl that was in line with us went to see it for the two main actors. They didn't go see it because of the movie itself.
Okay,
they went to go see it for the two main actors.
Now you just shot yourself in the foot because what were the two main actors?
Josh Hartnett,
males.
Yes,
male.
But we had a guest on the show. We had a couple of guests on the show. Well, not guests. We had one guest and one of our regulars on the show who's not with us today. They went to go see the Marvel movies to see Thor with his shirt off.
Yeah, but not
or Captain America with his shirt off.
But you're still proving my point, Kills.
No. I'm proving your point, saying that the movie itself was went and seen because of the actors, not the historical fact.
Okay.
So I'm saying you could do this movie with today's popular actresses and still get the same kind of crowd because they're going to see the movie for the people, but not for the movie.
Okay, you're okay in that context.
So how am I shooting myself in the foot?
You're right and you're wrong at the same time.
How?
Okay, let me explain to you. You're right because you say you're going because of the actors. Reason why they want to go see the actors, not because they can act. They went because they were attractive. That's why they went to go see the movie. They're not going to go see all women's film. Girls are not going to go see all women's film because of that. But that's the main reason. All the people you name is because they're freaking attractive. All the people you name.
So you're saying dudes don't go to see the movies for the same reasons?
What?
To watch an attractive woman on screen? Some movies. Some movies.
I'd say no.
I'm gonna disagree with you on that.
I'll say no.
I mean, it's really don't matter if you're attractive. It's more like if you're funny, if you're talented. For women, well, for both. I'm not going to go see a movie for the man.
So I was gonna catch you on that one.
I know. That's like, hold on, no, you hit me.
But what I'm saying is, you said you would remake it.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, if you had the right actresses in this movie,
okay, would you not go see it? Okay, let's ask that question. What actresses would have to be in this movie for you to go see it? Like, just pick three. That's just three.
Y'all pick it.
A Dottie, May, and a Doris.
Yeah, y'all pick that.
In a gym.
You go pick that.
Okay.
Before, so.
If I went younger, I would say I have three actresses. I just don't remember their names.
While you're thinking about that,
to be honest, because
I already know who can play Doris.
Who?
Melissa McCarthy. I can see her playing Doris.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can see her playing Doris.
Keith, let me ask you this then. I know you guys are going to name your guys' people that you will recast. Before I ask that, right? Because Kills is going here on his tangent right here, right? This is what I'm trying to say.
Message. No.
With the three actresses you about to name, do you feel that women would go just to see these three actresses? Mind you, on Kill's point, they go see the actresses and actors because of their actors, they like them. We all know the reason why they go see the movie, especially he named, is because they're attractive males, and that's why they go see it.
That's what they said.
For women. Well, women will, that's the reason why.
Women towards men.
Yeah.
Do you think women will do the same thing to go see other women?
Not based off attraction unless they're into women, but based on their talent alone and that person's funny. It's kind of like the Ghostbuster film, the real recent one. It wasn't that good, but people went to go see it because
it wasn't the box office draw they thought it was going to be, but it did do well.
It did decent.
But what is the main thing? What are the main things that all women cast usually have? And what is the main genre?
Comedy.
They're all comedies.
Saying that to say what?
what I'm okay, yeah.
Yeah, because that threw me off too. What do you mean?
Because
what does that mean?
a woman will go see a movie because a man looks good, or we have a lot more women movies that women will go see because it's a comedy. You see what I'm saying? That's what I'm getting at. You see all the movies, even name them. Girl Trip, all girl movie, all girl cast,
Hidden
comedy,
Figures.
Hidden Figures. But what ties in that is you tie that into the black community.
Because it's a black movie, it's not a comedy.
And I didn't say it wasn't a comedy. It was based on true events. It was a true story. But it was not. It had that going with it. It had a historical reference, and it was a black movie.
So you had the black audience.
So you had the black audience. Right now, you're doing a baseball movie that's all women. Talking about the women's league. That means you're only doing this for the women. So will women go watch other women?
Yes.
Okay. So all right then. That's what you guys feel. You feel like if they remade this movie 2019, women are gonna watch this movie because of the women actresses that are in it. And that's it. They're gonna go watch it.
If it's well casted
and well written,
I guarantee I can.
Okay,
I disagree with you that women gonna do that.
Hold on. I got one movie for you that did well.
Mm-hmm.
Ocean's 8.
I was just thinking that.
Comedy action.
Doesn't matter.
Don't matter.
It's a full woman's cast. A League of Their Own had comedy in it.
Okay, but what? Okay, now here.
I thought that was a comedy.
Hold on.
It was a comedy.
So it did have comedy in it, but it was based on true events, right? But hear what you just said, right? Ocean's 8. Yeah, you're right. It's a good movie. I like the movie. Love the movie. I think it's a good movie.
Did well.
Did very well for a movie that already started with 3 other movies before that were all male cast.
Saying that to say what is that?
And so what I'm saying, it gained a following.
That means it should have bombed.
No, I'm talking about Ocean's movies gained
but that means
a
it should
following.
have bombed.
So it started to be like a cool,
because I'm gonna be honest with you.
thing.
Because I'm gonna be honest with you. When I first saw that they were making a full female cast of Oceans, I was like, this is gonna be crap. Until I saw a preview.
I understand that, but what I'm saying is,
But it wasn't because I hated it because it was an Ocean's movie. When I first heard about it, I was like, this is gonna suck ass because it was an Ocean's movie.
But what I'm saying is,
after Ocean's 8, where's he at? But then I'm like, oh, that's his sister. Okay, so let's see how this goes.
But that's what I'm saying,
I want to know
though.
why they named it Ocean's 8, other than the fact that it was 8 women. But Ocean's 8 when it comes after
all the shit happens.
all the shit.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm getting at is the fact that Oceans had a following. That's why they made it 1. That's why they made it 2.
But
it had a following. So yeah, you make Ocean's 8. Yeah, let's redo it and female cast it because that works because we already built an audience with the Oceans Oceans 1, Ocean 2. That's what I'm saying.
But
Same thing with Ghostbusters.
But do you realize that Ocean's 11 was a remake? Hold on.
Yes.
You do realize that.
I understand that.
Okay, so even Ocean's 11, Ocean's 12, and Ocean's 13 had something to build off of that was over 30 years old.
Okay, I understand that. We'll make it different. But
30,
okay.
30, younger.
I understand that.
They're younger.
But I'm saying,
They're younger.
But we're talking about all.
But we're talking younger.
But we're talking
younger.
We are talking younger.
Okay.
But you're not
Younger.
Okay, we're talking. I'm done with that. But you're still not. You're not getting the point of.
You're not getting the point. It can still be done.
It had a following.
Yes, but how many? Let me ask you this.
This movie has no following.
Ocean's 11. Do you okay?
What do you mean? You have a following?
What?
You saying League of Your Own wouldn't have a following?
Yeah, I'm saying it wouldn't have. I wouldn't
Ocean's 11.
Wouldn't have a following like that.
The cast itself would be the reason why it was going.
I'm saying this is why.
you.
I'm just saying this is why Ocean's
Tom
8
Hanks,
did well.
Madonna?
Okay, I'm saying this is why Ocean's 8 did well because it had an Ocean's following.
Okay,
and so
but
now you just add
Ocean's,
women to the piece. Same thing with Ghostbusters. Ghostbusters had a following after 1 and 2. So yeah, let's redo it. We don't want to do a total remake. So let's just put the women casting
See,
here.
and that was another thing.
But my thing is
did it
this.
really have a following though? Because it wasn't even a sequel. It was just
What was?
Ghostbusters.
You know, Ghostbusters was a redo. It was a redo.
It was a redo, like reboot.
But my thing is this. You're saying, you're bringing Ocean's 11 in, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 13, and I'm saying that Ocean's had a movie before this. This was a remake. Just like Shaft is a remake from the 70s.
I understand that, but Kills, you still
And the reason this movie is doing well, and the reason Ocean's did well, was one, it had the following from the older people going to see it, and then it had hold on, and then it had the following of the people who are in the movies. Their personas.
Joe, let me ask CJ something. Is it based on because it's all woman cast that you feel like you don't believe that
there's not a connection?
Yeah, there'd be no success behind it if it's all woman cast.
You talking about League of Their Own, right?
Yes.
Yeah, or any movie for that matter. unless it's associated with comedy.
I'm saying that I feel like women would not go watch a film that if it's not a comedy or going with somebody that looks well in the movie, they're not going out to see it and support this movie. That's what I'm saying. Unless it builds a following. All the movies, I understand the Oceans were remakes, but it still had a following.
But it only had what I'm saying is it had the following of the older generation. Because like me, I don't remember the Oceans film, the original Oceans films.
I didn't even know there was an original.
Yes,
one.
there were. But I understand
my parents, yes, they knew there were Oceans films, and the reason they watched it is because they wanted to see what they did. The reason why I watched the Oceans film was for George Clooney, was for the actors that were in the movie.
Okay, well then you're in a totally different thing then. Because a lot of people going to, I like the movie, so I'm going to continue to watch the movie, not because I like the actor. What I'm saying is the very first Ocean's 11, which was a remake from 30 years before that. I knew nothing really about it. And then I watched this one because of that. The reason I watched the rest of them was because I liked the cast and I liked what they did. My parents watched the movie to see what was different, what they did different with this movie than they did with the one that was prior to it. That's what I'm saying. With A League of Their Own, you're going to have people like me, people like you, how they did it different. What did they do different? If they did anything different, where when you have the cast, you're going to get the younger audiences because they're going to be the actors that they know. I still wouldn't go see it. I wouldn't go see it because I'm like, only reasons I saw Ocean's 8 was a simple fact of I liked the first Ocean, even though it was a remake, whatever. I liked the second Oceans; it was cool. I saw my Ocean's 8. This is different, but it's still a continuation of the whole entire Oceans franchise. So yes, I'm gonna go see it. Even if these are all remakes, there's been potentially 5 Ocean movies prior to Ocean's 8.
Right.
So this has a giant following for them to remake it, redo it. And so you don't want to do it again. You want to get Ocean's 14. So I'm going to do a different female cast.
But they did it with Ocean's 11. This is what I'm trying to get you to understand. The same thing you're saying will not work for A League of Their Own. They did with Ocean's 11. And
they made an all-female cast.
No. A League of Their Own is an all-female movie.
I understand that.
But what I'm telling you is the movie here is 30 years older, or 30 years later that they remade.
So
all I'm saying is you're saying that it had a following. You're saying it had a following. Ocean's 11 had a following. That's why it did well.
I said all
but you had to start somewhere.
Okay. Yes.
That's what I'm saying. You had to start somewhere.
Yes.
So you remade Ocean's 11 and it had a following from the people who watched the original Ocean's 11, right?
Okay, sure. Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, League of Their Own has a following because of people who watched the original League of Their Own.
The original League of Their Own was only been one League of Their Own movie.
Right.
Okay, but there's been 5.
You're talking about
the original. You're talking about the original League of Their Own. You're talking about the original Ocean's 11 movie.
I'm talking about
the original Ocean's 11 movie that got remade.
What you're doing is you're trying to put Ocean's 8 in the same scenario as A League of Their Own because Ocean's 8 was an all-female movie. What I'm trying to tell you is A League of Their Own, to do A League of Their Own now is the same thing as doing Ocean's 11 again from the original Ocean's 11, not doing Ocean's 8.
I'm not bringing this up. I bring it up because you mentioned Ocean's 8.
I mentioned Ocean's 8 as an all-female cast.
Yeah.
And that's why I thought that Ocean's 8 would not have done well because you're going from pretty much an all-male cast to an all-female cast. What I'm trying to get you to understand is Ocean's 11, which was an all-male cast that came from an all-male cast movie, had to have that there was 30 years in between them. So what I'm saying is there's 27 years between an all-female, or 28 years, say they don't make it till next year, an all-female cast movie from an all-female cast movie.
Okay, yeah, I understand what you're saying. You're taking out one scenario, bro. What I'm trying to say
you're saying that Ocean's 8 had a following of Ocean's 13, Ocean's 12, Ocean's 11, but you're going from these movies that already have been there, but you're not taking it from the same place I'm taking this from. I'm taking this from the fact of there was a movie in 92 to now where I'm taking the movie from whenever Ocean's 11 came out to the original Ocean's 11.
I understand that. And you're making that thing, but what I'm saying, but you cannot do that.
Why can't you? It's the same scenario.
It's not the same scenario.
How is it not the same scenario, Carl?
Okay, so listen. All right. Let me follow Keith. Hold on. All right, because I'm about to win this right now. Right? So Ocean's 11.
The original Ocean's 11.
Came out when?
I have to look it up.
Okay. But, so the remake.
Came out 30 years later.
30 years later, which was called?
Ocean's 11.
Ocean's 11. All right. You're saying that this is the same time period as if the 1992 version of League of Their Own came out to 2019, correct?
No, it's 27 years. We already did the math on that.
Okay, 27 years, whatever. So 27 years. But you're saying this is the time period you're looking at.
Yes.
Okay, and I get what you're trying to say, and I get what you're saying that. In this comparison, yes, it's same thing, 30 years, okay? But I'm not thinking about that. What I'm thinking about is 2019, and Ocean's 8 came out in 2017?
16 or 17, yeah. One.
Let's say 17.
Okay.
Okay? What was the Ocean movie before that?
Ocean's 13.
Ocean's 13 came what in 2007,
7.
right? Was 2007?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
I'm looking at it right now.
And then what's the Ocean ones?
12.
12.
That's Ocean's what? Ocean's 8?
Ocean 8. No, Ocean 8 was last year. It was last year. Ocean 8 was last year.
Was it last year?
2018.
So, okay.
All right.
Ocean's
when it
13?
comes to the common audience, I've seen this Ocean movie in 2004. I've seen this Ocean movie in 2007, and okay, cool. And I have an understanding of oceans in general.
Okay.
Now I remake it, or not remake it, really continue the story.
Right.
Continue the story, and I make it with the all-female cast.
Okay.
Okay. I've seen these movies prior to this.
Okay.
Okay, whether or not this came out in whatever the first Ocean movie came out in 2004.
Okay.
All right, which is 2019, which is only 15 years later, whatever the case may be.
Okay.
All right, it doesn't make a difference. I've seen these beforehand,
Okay.
and that's how I said that's how I gained a following. That's why people want to go see the Ocean's 8 movie.
Okay.
because of people.
Since we're writing stuff down.
Okay.
So where's the bridge between this and that? Why did you go see the Ocean's movie to begin with?
We mean you just.
Why did you go see Ocean's 11, say in 2004?
Mm-hmm.
Why did you go see that movie to begin with?
I like action movies, and I like those kind of movies. I didn't
And
go
then-
see it because of the actors in it.
So if it had butt-fuck actors in it, you'd still go see it.
If it had yeah, I'll go see it. Like, okay, if I like the preview, like, all right, that's cool. And that'd be because of her acting. I'm like, oh, I'll go with the acting with it, but I'm like, okay, I like the movie. It's a preview, so I'll go watch it.
So what I'm saying is, you don't think that there'll be people out there that would like A League of Their Own if they redid it, and they saw the previews and the
Because I
previews
feel
was
like-
good.
I feel like that-
and the previews were good.
I feel-
you can't say the previews would be bad because you haven't seen them yet. But if the
Okay, I
previews were
can't say
good,
that. I can't say that.
But
All
if
I'm
the
saying
previews
is-
were good, you don't think people would go see it.
I'm saying, being an all-female cast movie directed towards females, I don't think females will go and support this movie. That's all I'm trying to say. I don't think they'll support it. Like, they'll go out there and they'll make it, but it's going to do a shitty ass job. It'll be a shitty ass movie. It'd be a shitty ass job movie. It'd just be a shitty ass movie.
You don't know that.
Unless it's like, if perfect thing. We were talking about League of Their Own, guys. Sorry, I went on a little tangent, but League of Their Own, right?
Well, we're trying to figure out would they remake it?
Okay.
how well would they do?
Give me, okay, for their ages in League of Their Own, right?
Okay.
But you can just compromise their ages. You know, they're young. You know, mid whatever. They're not
I
older.
think Dottie was 24. Her sister was 18 or 19 years
Okay.
old, something like that.
Here it is. Okay. Can you name and would you? This is a comedy sport movie.
Yeah.
Okay. Name 5 comedy women. Top 5 comedy women. Right now. Name
No.
5 top 5 comedy women
No.
that are not black.
No.
Can you?
No.
No.
Doesn't mean they don't exist.
They may say they don't exist, but if you talking
Wait,
about,
what was the question? What was the
I
question?
say, can you name your top 5
Comedy white women.
comedy white women
Young
that are
comedy. Young
young,
comedy white
that are
women.
stars that you will go check this movie out? That will do good. I can maybe think of 2, maybe 2.
Name 2.
What?
Name 2.
Other than Anne Hathaway, the chick that played Easy A. Easy A. These are-
Was that good too? They're young.
that are young. Top 5 female. If I asked you to name top 5 female comedians that just top 5
Are we saying comedians or in comedic roles?
comedic roles.
They can
top
do
5,
comedic roles.
and that are stars that people will go see.
Aubrey Plaza. What's the other girl she played alongside her in Mike and Dave and the Wedding Dates? Her, because she's in a lot of movies. She's in the Pitch Perfect. Rebel Wilson.
Are they all- what-
Half
are
the
they
cast
all
are
of
Pitch
age?
Perfect.
The cast. the
all-
whole cast of Pitch
No,
Perfect?
you can't.
Well,
You can't cast the Asian
well,
and the black girl.
Rebel Wilson, the Australian chick.
How old is she?
She's not even 40 years old.
But she does. But she doesn't look her age.
She looks.
Okay, she don't look her age. Okay, we'll go with that.
I
Fine.
would have said she was
So-
30 if I seen her.
Okay, so she was 30 when you see her, but I don't think anybody in this movie is over the age of 30 except for maybe nobody.
In League of Their Own?
In League of Their Own.
No, I
No,
don't-
everybody's older already, like in their 40s.
No.
How old do you think Tom Hanks is?
no. He's
No,
talking about the women.
I'm talking about the
Oh, the
women.
women?
Just the women.
They're between the age. I would say they're between
Madonna
the
had to at least been in her late.
who
Madonna had to be like in her late 30s.
late 20s.
Late 20s.
No.
In this movie?
Not her real age. The character.
Because that's what they gotta look
Well, here's
like.
the thing though. Oh, okay, so we're talking.
Shit, makeup can do wonders.
Okay.
Well, okay, so we're talking about their age. I'm gonna assume that they're in their 20s or even late, like maybe 19.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, so you
I
have
would
to
think-
find actresses.
And I'm sorry, this is not an important factor, but you also gotta think most white women don't age
Well.
They age like fruit. So,
Okay,
Left
okay.
on the windowsill.
And so once again, we gotta move in so people can see on the Facebook Live feed.
Oh.
But once again, that's what I'm saying. Name 5 women who are stars in their own right, stars.
Now,
Okay, now,
2019.
okay, between and can play these ages and these roles. 5 female stars that are not black, not Hispanic, not Asian. Comedic.
Rebel Wilson.
Rebel Wilson. I can't know who that is, but okay. Rebel
That's-
Wilson
that's the big girl.
The big Australian chick.
from
Pitch Perfect.
And she's in a movie now called
Okay.
She's actually in a
Rebel
movie with
Wilson.
Anne Hathaway.
exactly. She had 2 movies like
Rebel Wilson. Okay, keep going.
Aubrey Plaza.
Who's she?
She's in Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates, and she's also playing the mom in Child's Play.
Okay, but is she a star?
Yes, she is. She's a star.
I would think so.
Okay.
She has her own commercial.
What's her name again?
Aubrey Plaza.
Aubrey Plaza. I'm Aubrey Plaza.
That's the dark haired one, right? That's not
Yeah.
the
dark haired one.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the promiscuous one.
Okay. Okay.
What's the other one?
The-
The other girl from Pitch Perfect,
Right.
the main one. What's her name?
And you're talking about these are you
They're
talking about
They're
stars.
stars. They're stars. If you got your own commercial and you're like,
I guarantee if you
lead
look
one
up
movie-
top 5 Caucasian females, they're not gonna even come up.
oh, that's Anna Kendrick. Okay, that's 3 already.
Andrew Kendrick.
Anna
Okay.
Kendrick,
And these are people that can play these roles.
Christine Wiig from SNL. Christine Wiig can play.
Stars.
She
I'm
is
talking about
a
you
star.
know. Look, I don't know a lot, but
How,
I'm just saying, like, if you would name that name to somebody else, they would be like, oh yeah.
She did Bridesmaids. She was in Ghostbusters. She could probably play Cheetah in the new Wonder Woman next year. She has a lead role.
And
That's
she
a
can play.
star.
And she can play her.
Yes.
Okay.
That's 4 already. I need one more. Joe, help me out. One more. Who can play these roles? Well, shit, it's only 3 main women in it, so I already got 3 or 4 already.
It's more than 3.
I mean,
okay.
but 3 main actresses.
And you believe
for
they
these
can
roles.
play those individual roles the way they
Yes.
played them?
Yes.
Okay. But okay, that's what you say. I guarantee if you name 2 or 3 of those people, just the regular people, they wouldn't know who the fuck that
You
is.
know who that was.
I
That's
guarantee.
you would know
No,
who that
but
was.
saying, but I'm a regular person. I'm just like, okay, okay. But I like the girl.
You know
from-
what? You're not good with names, but if you like, okay, I just named Rebel Wilson. You like, oh,
She,
her.
yeah, listen, but I know kind of who you're talking about.
And
I'm
even
like,
Anna Kendrick,
but
she-
even with the accent,
she-
but if you say, if you tell, hey, give me 5 Caucasian female actresses that you think are like top notch, their name's not gonna come up.
If you're talking about comedy, see, comedy is kind of hard.
Comedic,
though.
yeah,
but
I understand
the actors
that.
don't
But if I
want-
say give me 5 just female comics comedic, who would you choose? If I didn't give you
well,
you know.
I guess we could throw in Anne Hathaway. We throw her in there. Her movies are majority of her movies
Okay,
are comedy. I think she has maybe 2
but
dramas.
who is
that I don't
who
know.
are the most popular female comedic people right now in movies?
Rebel Wilson.
And
What's her name? The other girl. She just.
they don't have to be Caucasian, just in general.
Oh, Tiffany Haddish.
Tiffany Haddish. Who else? Who's killing the game in females?
In comedies, it's mainly white women. Tiffany Haddish is the token because I mean, it might be a little irrelevant from the conversation right now. There's always one black comedian at a time.
But Kills, what are you getting when
Every
you
year.
type that in?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Well, this is
Because Google sucks.
Huh?
Okay, but this is what I'm saying though.
Sorry about that.
Why
because we're
did
sponsored by Google.
people guys? We're talking about leave their own, but I'm saying, listen, why did people go watch Girl Trip? Why did females go watch Girl Trip?
Because of the cast.
And who was in the cast?
Jada Pinkett, Queen Latifah, Tiffany Haddish, and Regina Hall. Regina Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah, Regina Hall.
Okay. Now, who? I'm saying you can. That went to go see that was a black movie. 1, Two, you have 3 women. You have people that people just know outright. Just if you just named them, if I know like Tiffany Harris, these are people name outright. Even white
But
people know them.
these are. But you also got to take into consideration. Can you name me 5 more actresses that are in that age group that are comedians or that do comic roles? Can you do that?
That are black or just in general?
Black.
It's not a lie.
Can you name me those?
No.
Oh, okay.
Besides them
So,
four.
that's kind of like the same no that I gave you because there are actually more women. I don't know their names other than the ones Keith named off.
And that's exactly my point, though.
But-
The fact that we can't even name these people, like you think females go watch these people?
What I'm saying is, Carl,
I just named
because
4.
you don't know them, you're saying everything's irrelevant.
No, because I don't know, though. I'm just saying, just in general.
You kind of did.
Females,
You
okay,
did.
well,
did.
well,
You
I'm saying,
did.
but I'm saying, I'm talking about popular people that are box office people. People want to go see them.
Rebel
But you-
Wilson
but you're-
makes
but you're
money.
not-
Okay, Rebel Wilson, I give you
but-
that
but
one.
wait
But
a
I'm
minute.
saying,
But-
I'm not gonna go see a movie because of
But what I'm
certain
saying,
people that you named.
but what I'm
Even
saying,
Amy Schumer. I'm not an Amy Schumer fan, but her movies make money. Trainwreck make money.
all
Snatch
I'm
make
saying,
money.
Carl, is just because the 3 of us can't name off 9 to fill the whole cast, there's not. You're making me tell me there's not a white person out there that could.
I mean, I understand that, but I understand that. Yeah, you're right.
Name some.
So what I'm saying, all I'm saying to you is, Carl, is you're saying this is not gonna work because we can't name them. That's not true.
I'm not saying because we can't name one. I'm just saying for the simple fact of
But you're also going from a black audience standpoint.
okay, it's not just a black audience standpoint. I'm really going off as just saying that hey,
It's 8:19.
there's not enough women out there to go watch other women to watch this movie if they did a remake.
People said the same thing about Ocean's 8.
Because of the actresses that are in the movie. I'm just saying. Too many damn actresses that out there that we can't name, whatever, right now. And we have to take some other people to come up with these names of actresses that will have to do. All I'm saying is, when you name some of the best and people like, I will go see this movie because it's Anne Hathaway. I'll go see this movie because this is some of the people that you're going to name that we have named are people that you wouldn't go see a movie because, they're cool, they're in it. Come on, man.
Do you realize the movie The Devil Wears Prada made so much money because of who was in it?
Meryl Streep.
Yeah, I know, Meryl
Okay,
Streep.
so you're saying that doesn't count, but I've just named 2 movies that it actually does. It's proven that it counts. Ocean's 8. A lot of people went to go see that movie because of who was in it. You choose not to admit to it, but it did have a bigger following because of who was in the movie.
Mm-hmm. I understand that, but it's a comedy movie, and this is a comedy movie. And all I'm saying is, but the thing that changes everything is the fact that this is based on a true event. It's
a fictional movie based on true events.
Okay,
let's wrap this up. Long story short, what I'm saying is, I wouldn't remake the movie basically because A, it's all female cast, and I don't think females will go off there watch this movie, and B, because it's a movie that is suddenly based on a historical event, and nobody's gonna go watch it because it's based on a female historical event, and you don't have enough actors out there to do it, and that will I would go pay money to watch this movie.
And I'm saying you can remake it, and it's okay to try and remake it as long as you write it correctly and you cast it correctly, and there are enough female actresses out there that can make this movie.
And can we add at least one black female baseball player?
No, we can't because
Yes,
not
we
what it's
can.
set, where its time frame is heading. You can't do that.
Well, can we push it 10 years in the future? Like, why can't we just do that?
But then
Because it didn't last that long.
It didn't last that long. It will take. It was only open for 12 years, something like that.
I just said 10.
Okay, 10 years.
But there was in that whole 12-year period, they didn't segregate in that whole 12-year period.
Well, that's why we need to have a league of our own.
Oh shit!
Oh my
You
god.
set yourself
We
up
did
for
have a
that
league of our
one.
own, but it's not a female league.
The Negro League of your own.
We did have a Negro league.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
Oh, I understand. So you're playing
It's
on.
okay.
All right. Anyway. So, ladies and gentlemen, but once again,
That's why he's the young one, people. That's why
Yeah.
he's the young one.
yeah. So thank you guys for tuning in on the Facebook Live feed and Instagram Live feed, and listening to us on SoundCloud, and listening to us on Apple Podcasts and Google Podcasts and Spotify. We appreciate you guys. And like I said, guys, reminder that Starting next month in July, we are going to our Blast from the Past movie podcast, Facebook and Instagram on live feed. So make sure you guys tune into that. And I want to say thank you guys for tuning in. All our international audience, thank you for holding it down. You guys are really our true blasters out there. I used it. I don't know if we still good with that.
It's okay.
All right. So thank you guys very much for tuning in. This has been the Blast from the Past movie podcast. I've been one of your hosts, CJ.
Joe Kill, keeping it real.
The Peaches baseball team was racist. There was no black females. I said it.
And we'll be out.
Peace.